Hey, so welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to cover plain text and kind of hybrid style plain text emails and why I think that this is the best strategy if you're a new kind of time poor founder, but you still want to do something with your email marketing. And this is primarily focusing on sending campaigns themselves. I think one of the most important things if you're doing under 50,000 kind of dollars per month is to just set up your flows and spend a little bit of time working on them, having an abandoned checkout, a welcome flow, abandoned browse, and maybe even like a post-purchase and replenishment flow. Kind of get those things set up, and then later on you can focus on sending campaigns. But this is what I believe to be the kind of number one strategy if you're doing it yourself, because there's no design skills needed. The flows, as I mentioned, can be set up in this kind of format that we're going to cover. And you can also mix in emails that come from you as the founder, or if you have, a figure or someone who's the figurehead of your brand, you can send the emails from them, like the face of your brand, and you can send emails from the brand itself. And it adds in a little bit of variety that you might have not otherwise had if you were just sending, same emails from the brand itself. So in the video, I'm going to cover the two main types. So pure plain text emails and in the actual Klaviyo plain text editor. And then I'm going to show you the kind of hybrid style. So if you have images and things that you want to show within the emails, you can do them this way. So jumping into the first two emails here in this kind of hybrid plain text style, you can see that they're really simple, and the only thing you need to worry about is the copy, and then maybe creating a really basic base template. So I have the logo section here and the footer section, and it's going to be the same in the next email. So as you're writing them or kind of designing them, you can easily just copy this across and then add in your new copy above here, add in a new call to action, and they're easy to see in your Figma file and ready to go out. So they're super easy to edit. And then if you have the sections set up correctly, they're going to automatically resize based on what's inside the blocks themselves. And I think I'll do another video in the future on how to set up your Figma in this way so that things kind of automatically adjust in size and you don't have to worry about dragging and extending sections whenever you need. So those are a couple of benefits of why this style of email is good if you're going to be doing some basic design or including some basic pictures in the emails. And as I mentioned, they're super easy and quick to put together. So for example, this one here is from the company itself. It's just a reminder that there's an Australia Post cutoff day during the Christmas holidays. And an email like this can be put together with AI in 1 minute. Similar thing with this here. This is the second email in the welcome flow for this brand, and it's really just storytelling about the founder's experience, why he built the brand, what he was doing, some relevant photos, kind of the first packages he received, some call to actions, a sign off from him, and the footer section as well, which is similar across the two designs. And then the next style that we can jump to are just the pure plain text emails. So these are really good to send if you want to send them, from that kind of figurehead of your brand, as I mentioned. But you can also send really good kind of direct response style copywriting if you have that skill on lock and you don't have design skill or you don't want to spend time designing emails. These get really good deliverability. They're punchy. They break up, they kind of are pattern interrupts in a way, because if someone's scrolling through their inbox, a lot of the time they're going to be receiving kind of design style emails from their brands, and this comes across in the inbox as a lot more authentic and personal. And if you're quite good at writing copy, then you shouldn't have a problem kind of keeping the people's attention and dragging them in and bringing them into the storyline. So this isn't even necessarily a sales email, this first one here, and these are really good to have these communications from the founder, for example. So for this brand's example, they were featured on TV on a certain program. So we send an update from the founder, and then just a simple call to action to visit the site. And this one converted. People just feel that personal touch point. We're giving them the option to go back to the site, which is going to, increase our click-through rates and the engagement in the email itself. And, people will read through, remember that they're low on stock of the product, and go back and purchase it. Similar idea with this one here. It's just like we hadn't sent an email from the founder for quite some time, so it's just like a little bit of an update, a thank you to the reader, and then teasing some kind of new products that are in development, and then just again pushing back to the site, giving them the option to click through and purchase if they need to, because if that's not there, you'll have less people visiting your site, and kind of the less people visiting your site, the less purchases that you're going to get. So those are two examples, non-sales emails from the founder that you can send in between sending kind of more sales-based emails like these up here that you might be telling a story about. And then the last one, we have like a proper kind of pain point story style email. So this is for a golf brand, and it's all about, getting them to imagine why they should need the product, in a simple way. So it starts with like you've hit the drive of your life, past your playing partners, your approach shot is solid 2, and you're in wedge distance. But as you stand over the ball, kind of doubt creeps in. What if? You make a decent shot, but it's not the ideal result, and you wish you had, desired benefits, and that's what the product itself sells. And some small benefits about it, the deeper benefits of how the product actually works, and then a call to action, and then just from the team with a little PS about, FedEx fast shipping. So that was a little bit deeper into the copywriting itself of that email, but that's things that you can send and put together. And if you're doing this all yourself, you can spend, maybe one day every single month putting together, 12 emails, 12 plain text emails that you could probably write, in less than a day. 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours with the help of AI and a little bit of editing, you can have all of your emails, planned out for the month. And if you have like a VA to schedule them, you can then just go in and review them yourself, and you're ahead of the competition in that way, being a smaller brand at driving those repeat purchases through campaigns. And then more people clicking your campaigns are getting funneled into your flows, and it has a really good kind of effect on the email ecosystem itself. Whereas if you're just sending one campaign a month, people aren't going to be falling into your abandoned browse, your abandoned checkouts, and things like that. So those are kind of two examples of how I use this style of email. I'm going to pull up on the screen now another two brands and give you some more examples of this style that other people are sending. So the first brand is this We're Not Really Strangers, and they send like a card game, I believe, but their emails are some of the most simple, plain emails ever, and it kind of goes against everything that you know. And they've continued to send emails like this for some time now. I don't know how much revenue they're doing, but I assume that this works because they continue sending it. And I mean, this is for obviously a target market it's not solving a pain point for any reason or anything like that. So their marketing is just really about having all of these touch points and things. So if you have a look, this is their email. That's it. They've got one button to start here and go to the product page, a button to unsubscribe. I know they sent one recently where they put the shop button and the unsubscribe button right next to one another. And really, they're extremely simple, these emails, and they can send a high cadence of them without spending really any time creating emails. So this is another way. It may not be relevant to your brand, especially if you sell a problem-solving product. But yeah, this is just an example for you to have a look at and see what some people are doing. And I assume it's quite successful. A lot of this is really driving that curiosity. And if you have an idea of what this brand is kind of about, you already know what they sell. And they're really just trying to drive as many clicks to the site as possible and unsubscribes as possible, because if people aren't interested, they want them off their list, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. So that's another way you can use really, really simple plain text emails. The other brand that does it great is Van Man. The guy who runs the Van Man agency is amazing, Max Granham. You should be able to follow him on X, and he gives out a lot of like great kind of advice around email marketing and getting a little bit deeper. But their emails are very simple. You know, you've got your logo section, you've got a hero image that's really simple, not necessarily designed with a shop now button. And they do a lot of really great storytelling in their emails. So I recommend subscribing if you want to see kind of that copywriting style. Pardon me. And you want to produce emails quick and fast like these guys. So, you know, just screenshots of stuff and then talking about it in depth. And they're very against, you know, big pharma and all that stuff. So they have a quite loyal audience that's into that. But you can see it's just all plain text emails, very simple call to actions, join the natural ingredient movement. And these are great styles of emails to send yourself. I know these guys get great results from their email marketing as well. So this video is really just about showing you kind of the opportunities, and that you don't have to have brilliantly beautiful designed emails to have a good email marketing strategy. So you should be able to take these kind of concepts and principles and apply them to your own brand. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, you know, leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see in the future, if there's anything specific that you want me to cover. And if you're doing over $50,000 a month and you want us to kind of implement all of these strategies for you, whether it be plain text, designed emails, whatever, there's also a link in the description to book a call with me. Thanks again.